Zina. Good day, gentlemen. Hopefully your training has been going well. For you, Bafana, with such a short period of time to prepare for Munster, a team that's been training together even before the URC, yes, they'll be missing a few internationals. With that being said, what will you be looking to achieve from this encounter? I mean, they did issue out their team as well shortly.
Thanks for the question. Firstly, look, they're still a formidable team. They are coming into the game with about 7 internationals. They've got some players who've been part of the island emerging team. So we understand that even though they without the internationals, we're still coming up against quite a good side. So we have to show them the respect. But just on our side, look, the first priority is to obviously make sure that we get the right result. But outside of that, and it's management and players, we're not going to complicate anything. The important thing is to make sure that we've got synergy in the things we're trying to achieve and how we want to play. And, if we get that right and the players can find a way to get into the right battles and execute the simplest plan and take the opportunities, I think we'll be okay.
Jan?
Thank you, Zina. My question is for Thomas. Thomas, obviously it was a brief stay, but you had a stint with Munster, so you understand what the passion is, and even though you're not playing, you're playing in Cork. So I don't know if you've played personally in Cork, but I mean, it's given the weather that you guys are going to see tomorrow night, it's going to be a very different challenge.
Hi, yeah, guys. Yeah, also on that question, yeah, I was at Munster for about 4 months. It was over a very similar time in 2016, 17. Yeah, it was in the time of Alex Foley's passing. I think it happened maybe just a few weeks towards a month ago before I came to Munster. And, I've really realized what type of emphasis they put on games like these. So you're 100% right. These guys are really, I'm sure they'll be very fired up for this game. And it's going to be interesting because they're playing in their hometown. Cork is a place where some of the guys are still living, traveling to Limerick to play. So there's obviously quite a bit of history behind this place and the games that are being played here. So, a lot of things in their favor, but we're really excited for this opportunity. And you can see from the week's training that the boys are really ready to go.
Thomas, this is a follow-up. I mean, given the weather conditions you guys are expecting, I've seen they say wind gusts of between 65 and 85 kilometers an hour and a bit of rain in the air. So, I mean, obviously that puts an emphasis on forward play and ball control.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is what anyone can expect from a South African side. Absolutely, the weather is not going to look very promising for us, for both teams. But it's going to be who's going to roll with those punches the best tomorrow night. So we're excited about it, but we know the challenge that it brings, and we were actually quite lucky with a few training sessions that we had this week. We could experience that. Maybe not the wind as much, but definitely the rain. And I think the guys really picked it up, towards the end of training. So, yeah, we're really excited, and luckily we've got some experience now going into this game about how it's going to be.
Magnus?
Hello, also everyone. Hope actually you're well. I also have actually one for you, Thomas. I know you only had one match for the box in actually this year, and I know the match is not about you or him but actually there's also for you chance to show Rassie that you must actually be more in the box team, if you understand what I'm asking. If you don't mind, please.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I don't think just for myself. I think there's everyone in this team can put up their hands tomorrow night and say, listen, I'm really throwing my name into the hat here to play for the Springboks. The first side, and for a lot of the players here that we've already been a part of that setup, as like you've mentioned now, and it's everyone's dream to be part of that setup again. So it's finding a bit of a balance and showcasing your own talent, but also playing together as a team. Because when you win as a team, then everyone looks better. So it's finding that balance, and I think everyone is really understanding the importance of that, and we'll definitely become better as a team. And then after that, we will, everyone will look to the individual.
Justin?
Thank you, Zina. Good day, Coach Bafana and Thomas. Coach, for you, this opportunity as an SAA team and a coaching structure, yes, you are being led by Prastix. However, this experience, being able to be exposed within the Springbok environment must be very special for yourself and the other coaches. Just in your opinion, how has that been? You guys, we've been told you guys are in meetings. You see how things are unfolding, in the test match week. So how has it personally been for you?
Thanks, Justin. Look, great privilege, and one doesn't take it for granted. Last week, myself and Joey got to spend, and Vian, sorry, myself, Joey and Vian got to spend a full week with the Boks ahead of the test match against Ireland. So again, the idea was just to align and get some good synergy so that we can take the information into this week as well. It's, again, Mzwandile's been so phenomenal in leading us this past week, and Joey and I are like, I don't know, kids in a candy shop, because we've known each other for about 12 years now. We've worked together before. But I think the biggest thing I can speak of is just the privilege and understanding what this level is about, and also trying to obviously work hand in hand with the players to ensure that, come Thursday, the team is good to go.
Nathan?
Thomas, this is for you. Thomas, you'll be wearing the captain's armband, nothing new for you, of course, but taking up the role of leading a national side, how much does this moment mean for you?
Yeah, you're 100% right. I've been very lucky in that sense, leading this team. And I feel very privileged to have a lot of leaders inside the group. With a guy like Johan de Goos and with Cornel Hendricks and all these guys. You've got quite a few players that are senior players and knowing what they're doing on the field, with cool, calm heads, being able to give advice. So I feel very lucky with in regards to that. But it's absolute honor for me. It's a real honor being selected as captain. And I really hope that I can do this team proud. And I think at the end of the day, a captain is supposed to lead by example, but also serve his team. And that's what I'm going with for tomorrow.
Justin?
Thank you again, Zina. Thomas, net vir jou in Afrikaans asseblief. Net jou opsomming van julle verwagtinge van Munster en net die rol wat die SA span, soos jy vroeër in Engels ook net gesê het, hoe belangrik julle rol is om seker te maak dat daar meer spelers is wat miskien in die bokke kan inkom.
Ja. Kyk, is baie belangrik vir elke speler om te weet dat dit 'n geleentheid is om jou naam op te steek. Om vir die Springbokke te speel. Dit is 'n platform vir ons almal, maar nie as 'n individu nie, as 'n span. Dit is baie belangrik om eerder te wen as 'n span en dan elke individu op te heilig as gevolg daarvan, maar om op jou eie storie te gaan nie werk nie, en ek dink ons almal besef dit baie goed. Wat ons wel verwag van Munster is, gelukkig het hulle nou al 'n hele paar wedstryde gespeel wat ons al kan kyk, en ek dink ons almal is redelik op dieselfde bladsy wanneer dit kom by hulle. Maar ons verwag definitief 'n fisiese stryd teen hulle. Ek dink hulle mols is baie goed. Dit is natuurlik 'n area waar ons hulle ook sal graag wil aanvat. Ons weet dat hulle hierdie weer ken en hulle weet waaroor dit gaan, en dit is iets waarna ons hard gewerk het hierdie week en wat ons voor gewerk het. So ek is seker al die spelers is regtig op dieselfde bladsy en reg vir hierdie stryd wat voor ons lê.
Nathan, is that a fresh question or is your hand still up?
Yes, please, Zina.
Okay, you can go.
Thank you. Bafana, just touching on Justin Ford's question, having been already touring with the Boks collectively as an SAA management staff, have you any differences and similarities with your junior Boks size environments that you've identified?
Look, I think the biggest thing here is that, players and management in terms of preparation and planning is quite, it's quite intense. Understanding the level of analysis that goes into games. I think that's probably the biggest difference. Whereas if you're coming into a junior environment, it's more about the teaching process. So we're trying to get them to this level that I've just experienced in the past week. Outside of that, I think any rugby player is just about the same. There's a desire to get better. There's a desire to win, and I'm hoping that our experiences here that we've taken and the learnings can just be passed down to the young players as well. The reality is that as far away as they are from the goal of being Springboks, they're actually not that far. I think that's probably the one thing that I've realized having spent some time here.
Carl?
Bafana, thanks a lot for the opportunity. You've just spoken about the personal aspirations and everything of the players, but obviously your role is to prepare them for selection for the Springbok squad. So will we see them fitting into the game plan of the Springboks? And apart from allowing for differences because of the wind and everything, or will we see some different game plans from your side?
I think for us, it's probably important that firstly, we try keep it simple. We've only had 2 days to prepare, but the one thing that's quite clear for the players is that they need to get excited about taking opportunities to play when the opportunity presents itself. We know we're going to make mistakes tomorrow. We know it won't be perfect, but the important thing is that we don't want to die wondering when we leave that field. So if it's on for us to play, we'll play. If it's on for us to ask the right questions with ball in hand, we'll do that. Again, we can't go away from our kicking game. We can't go away from our set piece orientated nature. So, and again, the strong defense that, not just as Springboks, but as a South African identity. That being said, we certainly are going to try and look for opportunities tomorrow. I think that's been the theme for the week, looking for those opportunities tomorrow.
Guys, are there any further questions? Nathan, I see your hand is still up.
Yeah, just promise just one final question.
Okay, go, Nathan.
Thank you again, Zina. Bafana, I'm not sure if this was asked on Monday with Coach Stick when he announced the Munster squad, so excuse my ignorance, but I just saw the Munster side that wasn't just announced. In the looses, you'll be playing without an out-and-out open side flanker. How do you go about prepping for that, especially when Munster are pretty sound in the breakdown department?
Yeah, we understand that. I think the most important thing for us is to play to the ball when you've got ball in hand. We have identified the breakdown as an area that we can certainly, that we know they're strong at. So we need to be better in terms of that. But as a team, I think our defensive system and what Joey's been putting in place with regards to that should help us a little bit as well in terms of forcing turnovers. It doesn't always have to happen at the breakdown, but I think the way we're going to defend and our approach to the game will probably help us get some turnovers. And again, those turnovers need to, there'll be opportunities for us to have a go at them. So that's really the thinking in and around that. That being said, I think John Luke can, is quite good on the ground. I think Pepsi, when he puts his mind to it, can also be good on the ground. Tommy here, Joseph Dweber, all those guys, Henku van Wyk, all of them very good on the ground. So, we'll probably get opportunities when it's on.
Name is Mr. P, but your hand is up.
Sorry, Zina, this person for young Zina. Ek vra nederig om verskoning. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Ja, as jy nou
Mr. P.
Hier, Percy.
Percy.
Mr. P, jy kan dit gooi.
Nou het ek alles gesien.
I apologize, colleagues. Apologies. Good afternoon, Skipper. Good afternoon, Coach Bafana. Coach Bafana, can I also ask you briefly a question, a follow-up to my colleague Justin Ford's question? Can I ask you, you guys selected 14 Springboks. Is it easy, and I'm asking the question very carefully with your experienced campaigner, Skipper next to you, is it easy working with these experienced campaigners like Springboks? Almost went on to say veteran Springboks, but experienced campaigners for you guys as new coaches coming in. And Captain, Skipper, kan ek vir jou vra dan Ierland, het julle 'n bietjie ongemaklike tyd, julle nasionale span 'n bietjie ongemaklike tyd afgelope naweek gegee daar in Ierland. Munster gaan natuurlik nie die rooi tapuit uitrol vir julle nie. Hulle gaan kom om nog verdere pyn op julle neer te bring.
Yeah, I think, sorry, Percy, thank you. There's 2 ways to look at that. Firstly, a lot of these guys understand that this is another opportunity for them. And as Thomas has mentioned, it's a great chance for them to show what they're capable of doing, and showing form to the Springbok coaches. And Mzwandile has made it very clear to them that this is an opportunity to knock down the door. They need to make it very difficult for them, Springbok coaching staff and selectors, in terms of how they perform. The one thing from an attitude point of view, it's been phenomenal. I really can't laud and applaud Thomas and the rest of the guys enough. They've come in, they've been accepting of everyone, whether it's the guys that are in the environment for the first time. But the other thing that's been amazing about them is that they've gone above and beyond to take in the information that we've shared with them. I think everyone understands that if we're going to be successful tomorrow and going into Bristol, we all need to work together. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. Obviously, we're putting our own flavor and our own personalities to the work, but it's not about us trying to show these guys, to do too many fancy things with that. So from that perspective, it's been quite easy because they know what the plan is. We trust them as individuals. We want them to play their best rugby. So we're not going to cloud them with too much detail. But the players' attitude from Monday's training, Tuesday's training, and even to that captains, they've been nothing but great. I'll need to applaud them for that.
Moet ek my Afrikaans antwoord of Engels?
Asseblief kaptein, Afrikaans asseblief.
Afrikaans, okay. Ja, jy is 100% reg. Kyk, Munster gaan nie net omrol en vir ons die game gee nie. Ek dink met die hoeveelheid spelers, kyk, hulle het ook 'n hele paar internasionale ouens daarso. So dis dit gaan 'n regtig baie goeie stryd wees waarvoor ons baie opgewonde is. Maar soos wat ek vir Munster ken en ek die natuurlike geskiedenis agter hierdie plek, dink ek nie dit gaan 'n enigstens 'n maklike wedstryd wees vir ons nie. Al het albei spanne baie goed voorberei. Daar was net 'n paar dae vir ons om regtig goed voor te berei en te gel as 'n span. Dis natuurlik iets wat hulle reg gekry het nou al oor die afgelope paar wedstryde en natuurlik afgelope paar jaar met die squad wat hulle bymekaar het. So jy weet, ons is glad nie naïef genoeg om te dink dat hulle net hierdie wedstryd vir ons gaan gee nie. Ons weet wat die tradisie is, ons weet wat dit beteken vir hulle en ons weet hulle gaan uitkom met alles wat hulle het. So ja, hulle gaan definitief wil ek dink hulle gaan baie voordeel daai trek dat in 'n goeie grond wees, jy weet, want as gevolg van laasweek in die wedstryd wat Ierland gewen het teen ons, maar jy weet dis 'n nuwe game, dis 'n nuwe span, dis alles is nuut. So jy weet ons is ook reg en goed voorberei. So ons is baie opgewonde daarvoor.
Ons het 'n laaste
Okay. Okay, Mr.
Ja, maar
Piet.
ek vra net om verskoning. Thomas, ek vra net weer eens 'n opvraag met my kollega Justin Ford gevra. Dit moes seker 'n voorreg vandag gewees het om hy spanfoto te geneem met saam die span en as leer daar langs in jou leers te sit en saam met al die ervare spelers te sit. Hoe lekker of hoe moeilik was dit geweest vir jou om self saam met baie van die ervare spelers te werk hierdie paar dae?
Kyk, is 'n absolute voorreg vir my om saam met hierdie spelers te wees en veral as om my C langs jou naam te hê as kaptein te vat en jy weet soos ek vroeër gesê het, vir my is dit 'n van die grootste voorregte wat 'n rugby speler kan kry is om so 'n span te lei. Maar ek is baie ek moet sê ek is baie dankbaar vir die hoeveelheid spelers in hierdie span wat regtig jy weet hierdie leierskaprolle speel in hulle unies. So ek is definitief nie alleen nie en dit maak my werk so klein bietjie makliker. En jy weet veral met die voorbereiding hierdie week, dit is onmoontlik vir een persoon om voortou te vat wanneer dit kom by al die aspekte van die wedstryd. So elke ou het regtig sy individuele rol baie goed aanvaar en gelei en gedruk, jy weet, met al die ander spelers wat relatief nuut is tot hierdie stelsel. So ek is baie bevoorreg om sulke ouens in hierdie groep te hê. So ja, dit maak my werk definitief baie makliker.